studies is...
It's a glorious place where really questions are much more important than answers.
mind-blowing.
Media studies is interconnectedness.
Fundamental to our understanding of the contemporary world.
Gone from a marginalized, misunderstood discipline to the center of the universe.
So much fun.
I would like to say media studies is the bomb, but I don't want to.
Media studies is my life.
How to make the world a meaningful place.
We should all be very proud of media studies and all it has accomplished in its 40 years. But at the New School, we are always looking forward. The new in our name is about continual reinvention and relevance.
We're a community that is passionately engaged with the pressing issues of our times. We're a community of scholars, teachers, and students who diligently pursue new insights and new ways of thinking. We keep our eyes on the horizon, searching for ways to make a difference in the world. But every once in a while, say every 40 years, it's kind of interesting to take a moment to look back, to reflect, and to celebrate our history and our accomplishments.
It was amazing. I mean, there were alumni here from the very first programs. There were faculty here who've taught in the program, and some of them who still teach in the program, who've been teaching here for 20 years. And then the current students were here so that they could see that they belong to a legacy and a kind of a network of people who extend both in time and space.
I'm feeling overjoyed, a little overwhelmed.
Well, it's hard to believe 40 years have gone by. That was, I think, the thing that most struck me.
This is the one that really hit home.
Absolutely glorious evening.
The media studies program has been almost like a place where I think of as family, you know.
It was wonderful to see so many people I haven't seen in a really long time. And I was totally surprised to be called on the stage because I didn't think that that was going to happen.
This was a night when we could take the opportunity to recognize and say thank you to everyone who has contributed to the quality and legacy of this program.
It's not so much about what happened in the past, it's about where we're headed in the future. And every day in this university, we are greeted by new students with new ideas and new horizons. They challenge us to make ourselves better, and it's a privilege to be here to do that.
So I think the School of Media Studies has both kept to its roots of integrating practice and theory very, very well. But it's also evolved as technology has changed, as the politics and global situations have changed, to always keep a pace of how media is interacting with global society.
Is critical. So how media studies has evolved with the way our understanding of the world has evolved.
Well, I was in the very first class in 1973. So how it has evolved, it's gone through many, many changes. You know, when I started, portable video was new media. It's no longer. Everybody's grown up with it and doesn't even think about it as media even. It's just what you have on your cell phone. What remains the constant is the curiosity and the enthusiasm of new students who come here to study.
About 30% of our students' population are international students, so that shows how the name of the program, the School of Media Studies, travels all over the world.
And I think we've evolved to become more critical, more comprehensive, and more creative.
It's always going to be a moving target, and it should always be a moving target. We don't want to be stuck in a rut.
It's matured over time, but it's also stayed really, really dynamic in that at its heart, what it wants to do is be engaged in thinking about what can media do for us today and how can it serve kind of cultural good.
I grew up at the New School, grew up intellectually, creatively, and professionally. I had what I call a checkered undergraduate experience, floating from school to school, unmoored with little direction. I truly believe that if it were not for the Media Studies program, my life might not have its richness and its many rewards. When I started the program, I actually was not aware that it was at the forefront of combining theory and practice. Taking classes in media theory, film criticism, television history, alongside video, photography, and sound production just made sense.
Our alums have gone every imaginable place, from corporate media to independent filmmaking to web design to... I've never heard anybody say they regretted doing media studies.
Well, I counted a few years back that in 40 years teaching here, I've taught 2,000 students. But I will select one person. Her name is Yonghee Yang. She came really looking to develop that those skills, and also I think to stabilize her bravery, her courage, because the area that she was tackling was personal and political and dangerous. And I think the experience of having been a part of this program really gave her the confidence to go on and do things that a lot of people wouldn't otherwise do.
Tonight I've heard from a number of alums who have said things to me like, this program changed my life. I thought I wanted to do one thing, and then I spent 2 years here, and I ended up doing an entirely different thing that is exactly what I should have been doing. That's pretty amazing.
During the past 4 decades, there have been rapid changes in media, and media studies has changed along with it. Media is now more integral across the New School than it ever has been before. By its nature, media is interdisciplinary. It requires creativity, technology, and most importantly, I think, a deep understanding of human interaction and user interface. And those are the strengths of the New School today.
40 years later, we know you can mix theory and practice, and in fact, everybody is now mixing theory and practice, and this program does it about as good as anybody in the United States, if not the world.
It looks like we came a long way, but we kept the values that really make this program great, which are aligned with the values of the New School in terms of challenging the status quo, in terms of allowing people to reinvent themselves.
Its essential mission is constant. So the world changes, technology changes, but the roots of it are still very, very strong and very evident today.
Your education isn't a shrink-wrapped commodity that gets delivered to your doorstep. It's an unfolding and uncharted experience that requires diligence, creative and critical thinking, and thoughtful reflection, and a bit of faith to believe that in the end it will all make sense. But please know that by allowing us to witness and participate in your personal and professional paths of transformation, you have given us a great gift. You represent our hopes, not only for the scholarly and artistic development of the field of media studies, but for the creation of a more just and our ethical futures.
In the early days, media studies was very easy. It seemed like we were saying, hey, there's a new language out there. People should know about media. Or as I was just saying, people who live on water, they should know how to swim. Let's teach children about media. Let's teach them to be creative and critically competent viewers of these advertising, this terrible thing we're doing to them. It's sort of the same issue now, except the media is so much more pervasive, and it's so deeper in lives, and it's so embedded, so hard to see. So I think it's a tremendously different and much, much more complex world now than it was when we started.
Every year, the future of media studies gets reinvented, informed by the history, and kind of reaching to a future that none of us even knew existed.
I work on robots. Robots move on their own, and they're going to be a form of media that's recording, transmitting, communicating with and through, how we interact with one another.
We'll be studying big data, We'll be studying the issues of governance, the issues of political involvement.
When we started this program, John Culkin was 44 years old. The next person, Bob Geller, was 39. Kit was 30 and I was 25. I want to see a world in which the 25, 30-year-olds of today can create their own graduate programs.